Hello, it's Jennifer, and welcome back to Symptoms of Menopause. I am coming back with you to discuss what is going on with the itching. So I am itching everywhere, and it's really frustrating. It's really annoying. Now I'm going to talk about it, so I'm going to start itching. Hey, I'm Jennifer. If you're new here, so happy you're here. Hope you will join in on the conversation. We are discussing all about menopause. I am currently in perimenopause, and so today I'm discussing all about itching, and I am itching everywhere. We're going to jump right into all things itching. So I'm going to start with my head because my scalp, actually, that's been a problem for a while, probably the last couple of years, that my head is so itchy, okay? And of course, these days, this day and age, we're trying not to wash our hair very much, which I'll just report here. I love the dry shampoo, and I will skip a day here and there, but I really can't. So I love that we can skip some days washing hair, but I have to wash my head because of the itching. The longer I go between washing my hair, oh my gosh, it itches so bad. So I haven't been able to do that, but I also think that the dry shampoo makes it worse. Let me know if you agree. So we're going to start with my head is very itchy. Then we'll move down to the neck. And oh my gosh, my neck is usually on fire. I'm hoping it's not red now. I'm sure, I don't know if you guys can see, but it is red. And of course, anytime you itch, then it really flames up and gets red. But yes, I have it up my neck, all the way down my neck and down to my chest. And it gets really hot, and it's so annoying. That's what probably bothers me the most. My head itching is pretty bad too, but I notice if I don't itch it, for especially my head, then I'm okay. And same with my chest and my neck. It's like if you itch it, then you're in trouble. So I try not to. I also have noticed that it is moving down now. So I'll notice around my waist, especially like where my pants maybe sit. And let me know if you can relate that it seems like anything that does rub, it's gonna itch. And it's just really an uncomfortable itch too. It's not just your normal, oh, something feels itchy, let me scratch it. It's like you itch it and then it hurts. So it's uncomfortable. And then also, that's where I kind of notice it itching the most. But now let's talk about the fact that also it's winter. I'm here in Washington. So I know our skin is, of course, going to be more dry in the winter. Although I'm in Washington and all it does is rain and have some sort of moisture. So I feel like here is not as dry as other places, but I know that the winter is going to dry out our skin even more, which is not going to help then with itching. Now I've gone down to the rabbit hole on why and what is happening, and really what I've come up with is just that if you're in perimenopause, then our estrogen is starting to decline, and then it's estrogen of Ken. We keep coming up with talking about that estrogen is like the fountain of youth because it provides moisture and fluid and keeps everything supple and moist. So I have read that and researched that if the estrogen starts to decline, then our skin doesn't hold the moisture in. It doesn't have as much elasticity, and again, it just can't hold that moisture in. So I suppose that's the same as the scalp, but I would assume that the oil glands probably aren't producing as much oil in our scalp, on our scalp. So that would make sense why with the estrogen declining that that's also getting drier and not as much oil. And same with our face. We don't I'm sure if you did have oily skin, maybe, then now you're noticing you don't, or vice versa. I always tended to have kind of just combination skin, so a little bit oily and a little bit dry. Now it's just dry. There's no more of the oily left. So yes, this is all I could find on what it actually is happening. That again, the estrogen is declining and we just can't hold that moisture in our skin. Again, it's losing that elasticity and as well as the collagen. So yes, I also want to talk about the fact that I am also very dry in my eyes. This is the quinky dink though. My eyes are dry, they feel dry, and they're always red, and also though, but they're watering constantly. So what is up with that? And it's like every time they water, I'm like, no, please let me catch it and put it back in, because I need all the moisture I can get. So let me know if you've noticed also the eyes. So my eyes are dry. I also have some other things going on with my eyes. We're also going to talk about the fact that I don't know if I've discussed this in a past video, but I developed rosacea, and I do think that the rosacea is part of menopause. And I have read, and anywhere I've kind of talked or seen or researched about rosacea, is that yes, it can be common that women may start to experience the rosacea with menopause or around, the menopausal age. So I started to notice about, I'd say 3 years ago, that yes, I always kind of had that blushing. So I guess, so if you don't know, rosacea is basically like an adult acne, kind of an inflammatory response going on as well, because it's not like acne. It's more like these little pustules, and some people get the pustules, some people don't, and then again, it's that blushing. So you have kind of this red permanent blushing. So I don't know if you guys can see, but I have a light in my face, so that's probably helping, which I love. But yes, I'm always kind of rosy and red around here. I don't really struggle and hate the blushing so much. So it's almost like, you blush and you get embarrassed, but it stays. And sometimes it's more red than other times. So I have to kind of use some, if I do put something on my face, just kind of make sure it's like, I use the Clinique, the red something. See, I'm itching right now. It's going to start turning red. So I'm using, I'll use something to just kind of lessen the look of the redness. But I don't mind the blushing as much. I feel like it, flushes my face and gives me color. So I kind of like that part. I'm not really upset about that. But the little pustules, or just like, it's like these red spots, and they inflame and then they just don't go away. So we're also, talk about this rosacea. Let me know if you've experienced it. I have used medicine. They give you like a kind of a antibiotic. I believe it more is, but that kind of helps a little bit, but it's gotten better. And I do think it's gotten better because I've been, of course, making sure my diet is really clean. Alcohol can really exacerbate the rosacea, as well as dark chocolate. Not happening, not giving up dark chocolate, haven't given up dark chocolate, cannot give up dark chocolate. So if I have some blushing and red from that, oh well. Now the alcohol, I did give up. Never been any sort of heavy drinker, but definitely would have a glass of wine, and the social drinker, and maybe on the weekend, a glass of wine. I like those spritzers, those White Claws. So yes, I did though decide to take alcohol out of my life. I do think that going through this change, that the alcohol can exacerbate all of our menopausal symptoms. And I think we crave alcohol. I definitely crave it. Alcohol, that's been out. I also don't want to forget to, let's move down to the fact that Also, my mouth. Okay, so we talked about the eyes dry, and then I went off on the rant of rosacea, because also drying of the eyes and some weird eye stuff can be associated with rosacea as well. So not sure if those two are connected or what, but yes, the the eyes are driving me crazy because, like I said, they are dry, they're red, but then they water. Oh, it's ridiculous. Okay, you guys, ridiculous. Okay, so then I want to move down to the fact that my mouth is dry. So my mouth, maybe in the last, I'd say 6 months, just my mouth is really dry. So I also had to really be, take a look at, I thought it was something I was eating. I eat a lot of cinnamon. Cinnamon is so good for us. So I got this new cinnamon, and it's Celion. It's real cinnamon. So I found out that the cinnamon you buy at the store, it's not actually real cinnamon. Who knew? Let me know if you knew about this. I didn't. So I consume a lot of cinnamon, and I guess I was consuming a lot of the fake cinnamon. So I thought that this was maybe why my mouth all of a sudden got dry. I was even getting like these little dry little, things around in my mouth, like canker sores. Oh, it was driving me crazy. And literally like my lips would be stuck to the tissue. Like, it was so weird. So really dry mouth. And I do think, again, since we're losing liquids and things, all of our fluids, maybe that goes along as well with the dry mouth. So let me know if you've experienced the dry mouth. I would love to know, because it is really bad. But I want to report that I actually had to stop using mouthwash. I love mouthwash, okay? But I've been researching mouthwash, and now they're talking about like it's maybe raises your chances of diabetes, and like, oh my gosh, that's a whole nother rant or video. We're not going there. But I think that it's become too harsh for my mouth. So I stopped using the mouthwash. I do notice better because I'm not using the mouthwash. But also, I think it's our toothpaste. I think you have to be very careful. If you're using any sort of harsh toothpaste, this can dry out the mouth. So I had to throw that in there. I also want to say that my lips, we forgot about the lips. So the lips goes along with the mouth, but my lips are constantly chapped, you guys. They are screaming, please, liquid, liquid, liquid. I have to put Vaseline on. I'm no longer really wearing lipstick because I just have to find like a colored chapstick. But I have to put the Vaseline. It's really what works the most. Chapstick's not working, but I'll have to just use the Vaseline constantly. So let me know if you can relate to that. Yeah, the lips are also very dry, and Vaseline is the only thing that I found that works for me. Let me please know if something else you know that works better. But yes, the lips are so dry. And also I want to we're moving down. So although I jumped back up to the lips, sorry, but I'm moving down here. So I am noticing, or I should say I'm not noticing any sort of vaginal dryness or itchiness. Now, when we think of perimenopause or menopause, we automatically think of itchy, dry with the vaginal area. So I am not reporting any sort of problem there. Now, I am taking testosterone. I do put it in that area. So I'm wondering if I'm not having any issue because, I'm getting some testosterone there that way. I also think, again, with perimenopause, since we're only just starting to decline in estrogen, maybe that's why the vaginal area is not as bad yet. My postmenopausal ladies, please jump in here anytime and let us know, does this get worse? Did the vaginal itch and dryness start later? Let us know what you are feeling now. And I guess I'm curious because if, a woman completely stops, she's postmenopausal, no more period, and she's not taking HRT, how unbearable is the itching and the dryness? That is what I'm wondering. So we would love to know that. So again, I would imagine that it would get worse. And does all this get worse? Does all this itching and skin problem get worse? I imagine so, because once we run out of the estrogen completely. Now, if you are going to replace and continue immediately replacing estrogen back, then I'm sure then it's probably fine. And this is why we really need to, I'm never trying to be an advocate and saying like, oh, we need to take this or we need to take that. But I'm also always just sharing what I'm doing, what I'm taking, what I'm not taking. So I would imagine I'm going to be taking estrogen, and so maybe we won't have that problem. And I know that probably that will really be helpful for all of these skin issues and the itching and all that. So I am looking forward to that. But I want to just go on to kind of close this out of realizing and sharing what I know for a fact is that we really have to get clean. I've talked about this many times before. Get clean with our diet, with what we put into our bodies, what products we use. We have to use really good, clean products. This doesn't have to be expensive because I can't afford really expensive products, but it needs to just be clean stuff. We can no longer handle fragrance and perfumes and stuff in things and additives and junk. We can't handle it anymore. Our skin, everything is just a lot more sensitive, and it's like just like we are coming to that time where we're like, okay, I'm not putting up with this anymore. Our bodies are saying the same thing. They're not accepting any more crap, okay? They're not tolerating anything anymore. And I want to say that yes, you are worth it. You are so worthy. You deserve to put yourself first and all of your self-care first. You must. In order for us to get through this, ladies, we have to. And if nobody's telling you, I'm here to tell you, you matter. You are so worth it. You are enough, and you deserve, and you have to put yourself first. Please. I am asking you to put yourself first. And we have to. It's the time. It's our turn, ladies. This is what this all means. We're going to go for this. We're going through a transformation, and it's our turn. Our turn to focus and bring as much love as we can to ourselves. The mantra I've been stuck on lately is I am enough, I have enough, and I do enough. I hope that resonates with you. And again, please jump in the conversation. Let us know anything you possibly can to help us out. But I also want to just go back on what I found with the research and the fact that, yes, we are starting to decline in the estrogen in perimenopause. Of course, postmenopausal, we have no more estrogen. So estrogen is so related to production of natural oils that keeps our skin moisturized. Also because of the lack of collagen, and the natural oils can cause your skin to become thin and itchy. So our skin is becoming thin and itchy because of the hormonal changes, the loss of estrogen. And there's also a name for this, you guys. I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right, but pruritus. Pretty sure that's how it is. Pruritus. This, I didn't know that, guys. There's a name